My name is Habtemichael and I'm from Eritrea. And I used to love writing poems since I was little because I used to read a lot of books back home in Eritrea. So I inspired with many of the Eritrean and Ethiopian writers. When I was 9 in Eritrea, there was a children's competition and I came first when I was 9. So since then, I just inspired to write poems. And when I came to this country, thanks to Asylum Welcome, they gave us like a creative writing activities and learning. So after we just think 6 months, and we managed to publish those books with some of another refugees and asylum seekers. So yeah, these are my books. This poem is called Arrival. Never again to breathe the pure happiness, my gorgeous memories withered like flowers. I smiled to tame my pain so that my future could arrive. I laughed at myself to help myself, and sometimes I didn't know even why. All my happiness is unreturning. Everything is unbeautiful. I think over and over like an old song. All is gone. I have nothing. All I have is missing. I miss everything, even myself. In a group, I am alone. That wind swings me from side to side, ceaselessly. Even when the day is bright, for me, it's night. I can't see my way. Why? How? When can I run? How can I recover from my sickness? Only God knows. A new life is awaiting, but I cannot take it. Yesterday will let me go. I must let it go. Not of yesterday, but of today. Or even better, tomorrow. Decide nothing now. When each steps will make all my steps grow. This one called Secretary, and it's a true story. It's a job like any other. Be nice to clients, polite to customers, answer their questions, give them advice. Smile and speak slowly. Treat everyone fairly. This is the job description of a secretary. But it didn't apply to Mary. When I arrived in her office, I asked her to speak to my solicitor, but she made me wait with the others for a long time. After a while, she started to paint her nails. Then, have we met before? She began. I didn't think so, I replied, but she was not satisfied. Are you sure? Yes, I have never met before. Then she started to talk without stopping about everyone's personal story. Her case is this, his case is that. She told everyone's secrets. Look at him, he is crazy. And that one doesn't work, he's lazy. And that one is a thief, a mafia robber. She scattered her words loudly. One of the clients said, Excuse me? Do you know him? Yes, she said, as well as my own family. I don't remember his name, but he's a murderer. You don't know him, the client said. He is my brother. You are right, she said, not at all bothered, and immediately started again. When I remember Mary, I think she was whatever she liked, a policeman and lawyer, a judge and jury. With all these poor people, I think Mary was not just a secretary. This poem is called My Dream. Yippee! I am free. I whiz around the world. No passport, no visa, no borders. Immigration waved me through. Why buy a ticket to fly? I am a bird. Why find a station? Why wait for trains? When I stand there, they stop. When I choose, they go. As soon as I am hungry, a feast appears. As soon as I'm thirsty, the wine flows. On a stage, I am a star. My books are in dozens of languages. I've got my own show TV. I am a prime minister. I am a president. My country's savior. All questions answered. All races I win. And it all happens instantly, tax-free, without even trying once again. I am me until I awake and know it's only a dream. But I will try and try until it's real. Being able to try, it's half of the dream. This poem is called The Ice Queen Out of Africa. To fall and step again on both feet is the way of learning. I loved on ice cube to chill me, to cool my thirst, in the hot and sunny place where I was born. But to run around on it, I don't think. Now that's what she does, my girl, gliding on the foot, jumping on the spot, spinning around and around on the ice. It's not a cube anymore, it's a ring. And can you believe it? She's warm. انت تقبل كايون انت تأمين كالون فريجون موغيو. If you accept it, even the fridge is warm. Oh, pain. Remember that time. Over and over, falling. Getting up and try again. For then we had never seen ice. Falling on snowflakes. Trodden on blades. Now I watch her stepping on the ice. From outside is doubting and bitter. But it's different inside for the little daughter. Oh, mommy, I wish the whole world is made up of ice. Falling is her way of learning, belongings and winning, leaping and shining.
The poem which I'm reading now is named Kite, or Korresparan in Persian. It describes the culture of Afghanistan, the way of our living back home. When I was young, I was living in Kabul city in a high mountain. During the winter, when it was school's holiday, it was a part of our social life. You're making a kite from the colorful papers, very beautiful and delicate, connected with the sharp and strong string. Fly it to the mountain, to the sky, and maybe some of them is going very, very far. It was depend how much the fly is, how much the kite is big. If it's big, it can go to as far as maybe around 1 mile, like that. And it gave us very happiness and proud, because we looked to the sky and your kite was in the sky, and the guy who was next to you, or maybe very far, you can fight your kite with other kite. The winner is the string is sharper, the kite string is sharper and stronger, and you put it the top of the other kites. The kite is the top of the string, which is the top of the other string, is more chance to win, to cut the other kite's string. When you win it, it gives you a joy and happiness and pride. And if you was losing and your kite was cut with other kites, it gave you sad and sorrow. And you losing your kite and you losing your string. The string was little bit expensive and it's quite difficult to make it, because the material which is make it sharp is from the pieces of glass, very small pieces of glass, mix it with some sticky things. I don't remember it properly. When we put it in the string and make it sharp and stronger. This is a part of our social life, and it remind me, and it was a good memory, and I just describe you very short what is the kite and what is the kite running. Thank you very much. Kağızparan, the kite. From the touching mountains, fortification that cannot be overcome, where every rock's face is a machete lifted against the invaders, and torrent that gush from the mountain's heart gave eternal life to all that drink from them, where the blue sky overflew with the limitless kindness, and every midnight there are stars that sing lullaby in your ear until you sleep, where every morning the warm hand of the sun touches your face, and days wake up from the country where there was joy from dawn till dusk, and we danced like swallows in flight. We come in spring, we played with kites, setting them spinning like pigeons at the heart of the sky, climbing up and up until we saw them no more, even though we still held the string that bound them to the heart, to the earth. Those are the most troubling time for the kite's flyer, when the wind is pulling your kites one way and you are pulling it another. Drawing it in as gently as you can, so the line doesn't snap where it has been weakened, battling another kite. Your arms are exhausted, your eyes ache, as you search the sky expectantly. Yes, kite fighting is a worrying game. And then there were snowball fights and skiing in the high mountains with frozen hands and cracked feet, from morning till night on empty stomach, but with hearts filled with happiness. When the snow was too deep, higher than our doors and windows, we would sit at the table with a stove underneath it, the charcoal covered with ash to make it last longer. That is when we would have Segen, our poet battle. If I finish a poem with the letters S, you had to start with a new one with the same letter. If you couldn't, I had to take up the challenge until you had no more poems, and I was the winner. There was no jealousy, no hate, no selfishness, no greed, no expectation of fine food, of owning a beautiful houses or expensive car. No makeup, no mobiles, no theaters, no supermarket, no showing off, selling yourself to other peoples. We share our shoes and share our jackets. We share our food, our rooms, and the content of our pockets. Our sorrow was shared and our happiness was shared. We laughed together and cried together. We were each other's sisters and brothers, fathers and mothers. One scoop of rice for me and one for you from the same bowl. When it was cold and there weren't enough blankets, 2 or 3 would huddle under the same one. The sky was clear and our hearts were clear. Everywhere there were angels. Our houses built from mats were more beautiful than the White House in Washington, D.C. Then suddenly an army of bears invaded with tanks and artillery on land, helicopters and jets in the sky, raging against our mad houses, setting that paradise on fire, putting men and children to the beyond it. We saw our village crashed beneath the tracks of tanks, and our existence, everything was lost, turning us into martyrs, homeless, migrants. Our ghazals became red and our qasidas became black. My kite hadn't the strength to fly. Helicopters carrying out maneuver and drop their bombs. Kite's pens and verses were burned. We picked up guns to drive the bears away from our houses at the price of 10 million orphans, widows, migrants, and cripples. Now the bears are gone, but the black ghost of stupidity and cruelty filled the gap they left. The city of love, kites running, and joy has become a slaughterhouse, where the butcher's party on our houses, the butcher party on our bones, apart from fire and smoke and monster, there is nothing. A monster grabbed me by the throat. I thought my time was up. Suddenly a strong wind blew. I saw my kite trailing a string. I seized it and rose into the sky, escaping the horror. Sometimes my kite dashed me against the rock. Sometimes it dragged me through the jungle or dipped me into the ocean. Bearing 1,000 scars, I come to you. Hey, my friend, can you put salve on my wounds, on my heart, on my eye, on my feet and hands? I am crying out, my friend. Enough is enough. I cannot go back to that places of suffering even again. Dard dil. The expression dard dil in Persian means sitting with a friend and sharing your sorrow. Oh, my friend, let's sit down together and do dard dil. Sharing the pain in our hearts, I am sitting in the darkness. Please shine your light on me so I can bloom. I was like a dying flower during a drought. You gave me life. By the help of your hand, I will grow strong again for the harvest. Instead of bracing myself for the tidal wave unleashed by the war, I would like to rest just a few hours in the calm water of a lake. Take my hand, be kind, until I manage to free myself from the hostile forces that bend me. I made my escape from the volcanic realm of fire, where I suffer like Abraham in Egypt, persecuted by Nimrod. Arrived at the river of Nile, I wanted to drink a little water. My generation is waiting for peace, as a swallow waits for spring, but peace has come to me here. With your help, I feel as though I am living in my motherland, and Oxford became Kabul for me.